Welcome to Saturday Night's Main Event recap on WWE Now, a WWE and Fanatics original production. We are podcasting from the Mecca, the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. And Megan, I want to get right into it. We were just out there, not sitting, standing.
Because that's what you do.
On the arena floor as greatness acknowledged greatness.
You're talking about the OTC Roman Reigns and the finals MVP Jalen Brunson in the house.
I mean, the fact that, all right, so like before even the drama happened, like the fact that Roman Reigns could acknowledge somebody else's greatness, acknowledge that somebody else was the king of the city that he was standing in, I thought it showed growth on Roman's part.
And I just loved the way the New York Knicks PA announcer announced Jalen. We got to see the whole backstage walkthrough. Everybody.
The Knicks team locker room?
Yes, we saw the Knicks team locker room. Then we see all the crew members in WWE, all the staff. Everybody is out to just watch and walk to Gorilla. And who's waiting for him at Gorilla? But Roman Reigns.
And it's amazing because it's like you think about, I don't know if it was a year or so, but I think like what a difference a year or however long ago it was makes. When Jalen Brunson, this is not the first time he's been on WWE programming, but Jalen Brunson walked into this city and gave us a championship in the sport of basketball for the first time in 53 years. And that whole world has changed for him. And now he stands side by side with the OTC Roman Reigns. And I do think as well that Roman Reigns, like, let's be honest, wants to take a moment to go, I'm acknowledging his greatness, but in acknowledging his greatness, I'm the one standing next to him. I think the reason that Roman Reigns was in that ring saying basketball is a team sport, but there's one captain. Basketball is a team sport, but there's one MVP, and it's you. I don't think that when he's saying that, Roman is only talking about Jalen Brunson and is only talking about the Knicks and is only talking about basketball. I think that's on Roman Reigns' mind because he knows that in the WWE, it takes a tremendous team.
So many people
to put the show together. You know, you got to have the ring, you got to have the building, you got to have a podcast about what's going on, you got to have all kinds of different superstars. But ultimately, there's only one OTC. And I think Roman Reigns was pointing that out about Jalen Brunson because he was pointing that out about himself.
Jalen Brunson is the tribal chief of the New York Knicks. He was the tribal chief of the NBA, I would go as far to say.
Absolutely.
And I think that was shown specifically tonight. And by the way, I absolutely loved Jalen Brunson's OTC 11 shirt.
Oh, so cool. So cool. And I mean, you remember, Jalen Brunson is like, and I think you could see on his face, like the enthusiasm. Like, Jalen Brunson is a legitimate WWE super fan. You remember during the playoffs, there was a question in one of the press conferences.
And he talked about Roman Reigns.
And he literally got, like, the question was something.
He said he acknowledges him daily.
He said, well, how do you feel about, the OTC being world heavyweight champion again? And Jalen, mid-playoffs, is going, well, that's finally the question that I was waiting for. That's what I wanted to talk about. And now he's sitting there next to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns is next to Jalen Brunson. And I just thought it was a great moment.
No, let me ask.
And to your point, by the way, that PA announcer putting it over the top, it was just a great moment, a great New York moment with a WWE spin on it.
Well, now let me ask you this. As a New Yorker yourself, as a tribal chief apologist, as a Roman
Why do you say
Reigns,
apologist? What's there to apologize for?
D1 Glazer.
D1 Glazer I'll accept.
As somebody who claims to be part of the bloodline.
You know who else, by the way? Big Roman guy who I was making eyes with the whole time Roman was out there?
Who's that?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, yeah, he is. We're going to talk about him later because I shared an experience with him that I need to share with you and everybody here on the podcast. But was there?
I hope it's a net positive.
Was there a little part of you, right? You see your guy, your New Yorker. You felt like as one of the bloodline that Jalen is now part of your family.
I mean, look, it's like the New York side of me. I'm going like, that's my guy. That's Jalen Brunson. You know, I was living off of Knicks fever for quite a while.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say I'm the biggest basketball fan of all time, but
you're a big ball guy.
I'm a big ball guy. This is what they say. The one thing they say is this. Sam knows ball. That's the one thing that they do say, okay?
Yeah.
So on the New York side of me, I'm like, oh, my God, look at this. Jalen's here. And then, I'm not going to say it about myself, but as Jacob Fatou said it here on The Now, as an honorary and kind of the honorary Oos, the bloodline part of me was like, I can't believe it. Like, it's almost like
it's almost like this night was for you.
Like all the families were together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you meet your dad's side of the family, you meet your mom's side of the family, and then sometimes you have that massive family reunion. And you're like, oh my God, this is like, you sit there, right? And you sit at home and you go, why am I the way I am? And then sometimes you look around and you look at your whole family and you go, oh, it all makes sense. That's how I felt looking at Roman and Jalen Brunson, the two greatest to ever do it. I was like, oh, I get it now. I finally feel connected to life. That's a good point. That is exactly how I felt, Megan. And then, and you probably related to this because we saw an invasion of the haters, is what I would call it. I saw a couple guys. You know what I saw tonight? A couple guys who are very skilled, but between the two of them have exactly 0 titles. Okay? Tyrese Halliburton and Seth Rollins.
Well, it was great because you're having this moment, Roman presents Jalen Brunson with the championship belt. Which,
that's right, a beautiful championship belt. Not even just like look, we changed the side plates for you.
Yeah, so
totally customized, wonderful, joyful, beautiful moment.
Blue strap on the thing.
Oh, with the orange thing.
It was beautiful. And they're just about to have all of New York City acknowledge them, raising the championship belts in the air.
That's right.
I had my phone out, I had the video going, and I hit stop. And as soon as I hit stop, burn it down! It was so perfect. And then I didn't even really look up the entryway because I was like, oh, Seth is going to come down. But I look up at the Jumbotron, and I see it's Tyrese Halliburton. With a chair. It couldn't be any more perfect because the last time Jalen Brunson was on WWE programming right here, who was he on with? Tyrese
Halliburton. And there's also very few in the sport of basketball. Wemby might be the only person that even sort of measures up to Tyrese Halliburton. We haven't gotten over this, okay? We haven't gotten over this.
He's a heel in this building.
He absolutely is. But I think he loves that.
Of course.
I think Tyrese Halliburton lives for New York to absolutely loathe him. When Tyrese Halliburton did this podcast, there were people who were sitting on that table that were not happy about it. You weren't happy, were you? No, he wasn't happy. He wasn't, because he's a villain.
He was disrespectful
in this town. But you could see it all over his face. He loved that he got to be a part of ruining this, and then boom, here comes Seth Rollins.
Behind.
Now there's two things, right? So on one end, I'm annoyed that Seth Rollins ruined Roman Reigns' moment. We're having a beautiful moment. Roman Reigns, I loved it. But then there was a part of me that was like, oh, I love it when you have two of the biggest stars in sports, Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton, and the focus is on professional wrestling. That everybody's there for the pro wrestling of it all.
And
a guy attacking another guy, and a steel chair is in the ring, and you did like we're in the right environment.
And we get back to building towards that massive match at SummerSlam.
Right, because the NBA Championships was cool.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was fun. There's a parade and everything.
It was great.
But it ain't SummerSlam.
We're on to SummerSlam. We're on to the biggest party of the summer in SummerSlam. And then I'm also thinking about what happened on Monday night and how Roman definitely, and we talked about it right here on the podcast, how Roman got the better of Seth, at least in their exchange of words.
Yes, you're 100% right. Verbally. And Seth came back physically. And I think I kind of, if I could take myself outside of the glazing of it all.
You don't do that often, so it's big of you.
What, take myself outside of it?
No.
Right, no, I have a tough time about it. But if I could, I do respect the idea that Seth Rollins is like, I don't care about your moment. Why would, I don't care about your moment. I don't like you. I'm going to take the title from you. Because Roman, and I was thinking about that as Roman was doing it, right? As Roman was talking about Jalen Brunson as, sure, a member of a team, but really it's all about him. I go, Roman's talking about himself here, right? I was just talking about that Roman is clearly making a comparison.
And what's Seth doing backstage? He's looking at the iPad and he's going, I took that personally.
That's right. I was sitting there going like, I wonder if anybody is back there going like, whoa, what's he saying? Right? Like, that's not cool. What are you talking about? Because it's not even how Jalen Brunson, if you listen to Jalen talk in interview, he never says anything like that.
Oh.
Roman does.
Of course he does.
Roman does. I'm not saying Roman's incorrect, but he does say it. So the idea just the idea that Seth Rollins would come out and go, I don't care about your moment. I don't care. Like New York, I don't care about your moment. This is my moment. And that's the way professional wrestlers should be. Professional wrestlers, there should be no, well, we can't ruin this, or well, no, this is sacred, or this is that, or this. No, it's a fight for survival to see who's going to be the king of the jungle. And there was this little part of me that respected the idea that Seth Rollins isn't sitting there going like, oh, you know what? There's a really nice moment when the WWE and the NBA can come together.
We could talk about it on Monday.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we'll talk about it Monday.
Yes.
Seth goes, no, right here, right
Seth
now.
Rollins says, I don't see this as a beautiful moment. I see it as an OTC who's not watching his back, who's vulnerable because he thinks that everybody is in awe of this conversation with Jalen Brunson. I'm going for it. Plus, Jalen Brunson's got the deal on his wrist. What's he going to do? Right?
Plus, Tyrese Halliburton's in the house. I'll
Right.
bring him out with me.
Right. And here comes Tyrese Halliburton as the distraction. And again, you're talking about Tyrese Halliburton, one of the biggest stars in the world of sports. But in Madison Square Garden tonight, he's the distraction so that Seth Rollins can come in and take out Roman Reigns. Now, listen, Roman Reigns does not sit there allowing this stuff to happen, okay? There might have been a moment that Roman Reigns had his guard down, but
Yeah.
that's not going to stay there.
And Seth had him down.
Oh, he absolutely did, and he would have stomped his face into the mat again had it not been for Jalen Brunson.
I mean, people were so upset in Madison Square Garden as Roman is laying on the ground. There was kids 2 rows behind us.
yeah.
The kid sitting on his dad's shoulders, and he's screaming, Jalen, help Roman. You have to help him,
Are you sure that
Jalen."
wasn't me?
Well, it's hard how the sound travels
Sure,
in
sure,
the
it's an
arena.
arena,
I'm not
yeah,
really
yeah.
sure it was next to me or behind me,
Right.
but there were multiple children.
It's just a high-pitched voice. We don't know
Yes.
whose it was. Yeah,
who were
absolutely.
really rooting for Jalen to help the OTC.
And then he stands in front of him, and he goes, well, I'm not going to let this happen. I don't exactly know how I'm going to stop it, but it's just enough time for Roman Reigns to come around the corner, out of the pocket, and boom, Superman punch.
Which, by the way, Roman Reigns this weekend at Fanatics Fest, he was
Yes.
doing Fanatics games,
Yes.
and I saw a video of his punch for UFC, the UFC.
Oh, my God.
Stay away. Everybody's been warned.
Roman told me that he couldn't jump over the. Remember last year, John Cena jumped over the table to give me a hug? He said that he couldn't because he had bulked up too much. That's true. He really did say that.
I
He
must
really
miss that
did say
part.
that.
Yeah, he
And
actually didn't even make his way down the ramp. So
he was so cool. You got to go back and see this entrance. Like, so at Fanatics Fest, they're doing the superstar entrances. And the way it works is like it's a whole entry ramp
Yes,
down.
yes,
But
yes.
because there's no ring, you have to go back up the entry ramp. And it's tough to maintain your aura after you've already done your entrance going right back up, you know?
yeah,
Roman is the only guy who was cool enough to walk like 30% of the ramp down and go like, okay, I did it. That's it. He didn't even fake go. He went right back around and said, you got a taste.
and we held those 10s up.
Tens. Of course he got tens. Man, I cannot wait for SummerSlam. I cannot wait for Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And I love that the message tonight was loud and clear. Yes, we are in Madison Square Garden. Yes, Jalen Brunson is here. And Karl Anthony Towns is here, and we'll talk about him in a minute. But for some people, SummerSlam is 2 weeks away. And that's more important than anything else. And if you want to be the guy to take that title away from Roman, that's exactly the way that you've got to be thinking. And I think that that's exactly the way that Seth Rollins is thinking.
I can't wait. It's advertised, right? Jalen Brunson, Roman Reigns, and in the show, I think, we're just gonna go off with a happy moment.
Were you surprised that it ended the show?
Yes.
I was too.
I was surprised it was ending the show.
When
I
it was-
thought
when it- like,
when
when
it
it
was
was-
announced, I
yes.
thought this would be something that would kick off the show.
Or even like, somewhere. Yeah. I was surprised when the tag match started.
Yes.
And then because that's when you realize, oh, Jalen and
You still
Roman
have
are going
Jalen
on
and Roman. And the
last.
fact that it ended on a SummerSlam story build, loved.
Beautiful. But Jalen Brunson was not the only New York Knickerbocker who ended up in Madison Square Garden, okay? Because Karl Anthony Towns, now Danhausen said on SmackDown on Friday, he revealed that he did have a cat, a physical cat.
It was a stuffed animal.
Right.
It wasn't like a.
It wasn't real?
wasn't like a live feline.
It was not live.
No, it was a stuffed animal.
Oh, man, well, it was a hell of a forgery. It was tough to tell. But I mean, Danhausen. Now, also, they didn't come out of a cloning machine this time. But do we know for sure? Do the Minihausens live under the ring now? Is that a full time?
Yeah, where are they kept?
I don't know because they've been created and they just showed up. Do we know where they are? You invited them.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. They were here for the parade and just stuck around. That's the problem. See, Joe did the parade, and he's really good at inviting people, but he's terrible at being like, okay, you can go. You guys can go. You don't need to be here anymore. So I guess they were here for the parade, and if you missed the parade, look at it on the WWE YouTube channel. It was amazing. The Danhausen uncursing the Knicks parade. But those Minihausens stuck around, somehow ended up under the ring. I don't know if they build the ring around them or they just sneak under there at some point. I have no idea. But, they come out. And, of course, I mean, at this point, J.D. McDonough and Dominic Mysterio are so over all of this. They go, okay, we'll fight some Minihausens then. And, I mean, they leveled them.
This would have probably been a tough thing for you to watch, the New Yorker in you, the Knicks fan in you, also the Dirty Dom fan in you.
And the Danhausen fan, right?
Yeah, to see Dominic Mysterio taking the Danhausen Knicks jersey and wiping his feet with it, ripping it off Danhausen. I actually sat next to Lin-Manuel Miranda for this match.
Yeah.
He was cheering on Dominic Mysterio the entire time.
Well, it's hard not to cheer Dominic Mysterio. He's got a magnetism.
Hard not to cheer him on when he's disrespecting the Knicks in this manner.
It's tough, but it is. The season's over, and he's so cool, Dominic. You know what I mean?
That's a lot of qualifiers there. After you just had a whole spiel about, your family getting together, both sides, you understand why you are the way you are.
And everybody's got one member of the family that you're like, yeah, I mean, we love him. But
the bad uncle, but he's like the cool uncle.
But he's cool. Like, he, taught you to smoke cigarettes when you were like 12. And it was like, should he have done it? No. But, he's cool. He only shows up every like 4 or 5 years, That's Dominic. But you know what I'm saying. But so while the Minihausens are getting, beaten into the ground, getting thrown into steel stairs. I mean, they didn't require that amount of offense. But regardless, I mean, they got involved in the match. The match is a no DQ match. Those Minihausens get involved. And sorry, you know what I mean? If they want to get in the ring, that's JD McDonough. That's Dominic Mysterio. But then Danhausen puts that cat into the cloning machine. And just before they're about to powerbomb one of the Minihausens through a table.
It was a little excessive.
I mean, it was a little excessive, a little. But they got involved. All of a sudden, that cloning machine starts making noises. And the cat that New York became so familiar with, Karl Anthony Towns, pops out of that cloning machine. And you know what? I didn't know he had a choke slam in him.
I didn't either. I knew he was a massive WWE fan, but it's one thing to be a fan and another thing to deliver that type of choke slam.
I'm a massive WWE fan. I can't choke slam Dominic Mysterio through a table.
You'd
be insane. I'd look like a fool.
And also the amount of pressure, right? Imagine you've been a fan your whole life. Wow, I'm going to get in there with Dominic Mysterio, Danhausen, and JD McDonough, and I have to deliver this choke slam, and he did it.
But I guess it's also like I probably can't relate to the pressure because I've also never won an NBA championship. So there's probably some pressure associated with that, over the course of several games. But I say all this to say that before we break it all down, I looked at Megan Moran as we were watching this. I said, we got to go find Danhausen. We got to find these guys. And we went into the bowels of Madison Square Garden and uncovered where Danhausen was staying. And apparently he travels with Karl Anthony Towns himself because we got into a conversation with Danhausen and got a surprise visitor to join us. Check it out. Danhausen, congratulations on coming back to your city and doing so victoriously.
My city. I won it. I won the Madison Square Garden. I won the NBA championship, and I'm the champion now of New York City.
I agree. He is the champion of New York City. Cathausen here with
Yeah.
Danhausen.
Yeah, you're the champion of New York City too.
I'm just sharing the championship with you.
Oh, okay, that's nice. I like that. Thank
Ever
you.
since we've been uncursed, you've seen how New York's been living. It's all because of Danhausen.
Yeah, you guys got a orange and blue subway now.
Yes.
I love it.
We call it the Danhausen Subway.
Oh wow.
The Danhausen Express.
I like that.
I was gonna say Danhausen showed up in Nick's colors, but these are Danhausen's colors.
Yeah, now my colors too.
He owns the colors. MSG is his second home. Actually, I heard it's his fourth home. He got a
Oh,
lot
yeah?
of homes.
Yeah, a lot of homes.
Danhausen has a lot of human monies.
This is true. Yeah, I do have a lot of
These
human money.
resources are
I've got a
terrible.
laboratory. You should stop by sometime.
Okay.
I've got a lair. I've got Madison Square Garden, and probably got some other places. I don't know. Yeah, you can come though.
I'm a little confused how this cloning machine works. How did Cat?
I put a cat in it, and I put a jersey in it of the Knicks. What's to not understand?
I would like to say I saw them wiping their ass with a Knicks jersey.
Yeah.
I took that personally.
Yes.
And Cathausen, seeing Danhausen being treated like that was unacceptable.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Cathausen, how long were you in that cloning machine?
Oh, I just came out. But the cat, I popped up. I said, wow.
Let me tell you. No, I'll handle this. That's none of your business. Yeah, you like that?
I like it.
Yeah, good.
I'm here with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Your
None of
chokes.
business.
Sorry,
No, no.
bad question. Your choke slam is absolutely vicious. Could this not be the last time that we've
like
seen you
that?
in a WWE ring? Could you be back in a WWE ring?
If Danhausen ever needs Cathausen, I'll be back.
You'll do the choke slam dunk. You like that?
Choke slam dunk. The move's got a name.
Yeah.
I like it.
But you know, if you put it on a shirt, who gets the money?
Who? Me?
You.
Oh.
All human monies in the world is owned by Danhausen.
He's on board.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations on another victory in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
In Danhausen's town. Danhausen City and Danhausen
It
House.
was Nixon 5, yeah?
Nixon 5.
Nixon 5.
Thanks to Danhausen, thanks to Cathausen, thanks to everybody associated with everything. We'll talk about that, Megan, in a minute. But I do want to tell you that the Beast is back. I'm talking about Brock Lesnar. You can represent Brock Lesnar with his latest tee available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. It's got his new catchphrase on it. I don't know if you know about that. Or if you're going on the other side of this rivalry, you can run, but you can't hide from the ruler. The new Run from the Ruler Obafemi tee is available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics. Grab yours and acknowledge the most dominant force in WWE. Now, I mean, Megan, you talked about what a fan of the WWE Karl Anthony Towns is.
Massive fan.
But can you imagine winning an NBA championship and going on a platform as important as WWE now and saying, yeah, Danhausen deserves the credit for it? I mean, that's amazing.
And then also saying Danhausen is an NBA champion.
He's an NBA champion.
And mayor of New York. I mean,
Yup.
all of the things he said. It's really incredible the impact that Danhausen had on the New York Knicks.
And I will tell
True
you,
impact, too.
choke slam dunk is, I mean,
Good.
genius.
It's pretty good.
I don't know where in his laboratory or lavatory,
I
as
did
you
not
call it.
say
Remember?
I did not
Remember
say.
she did.
No,
Remember
I
when
didn't.
she said
No,
it?
I didn't.
You remember when she
I
said it?
did not.
Yeah, she
I
did
said
say
labor-
it.
no,
She said it.
I
She
did-
did say it. Yes. Yeah, and I didn't bring it up in the interview, so you're welcome, because I thought about it. I did. I was thinking about it when we were saying
You
it.
brought in a lot of things up today.
Well, I mean, I say all kinds of stuff, but
Earlier today at Fanatics Fest, we're judging these games, and we all had to take a bathroom break. All of us, all of the judges.
Some more
And
than
Sam
others.
told the entire crowd that I had to go number 2. So
well, because Mark Nash, the ring announcer, wasn't like being like cool about it and going like, hey, we're going to take a 5-minute break. We'll be right back. He said into the microphone, hey, we got more entrances, but the judges need to take a bathroom break.
and then Sam
And I'm like, why are
stood
you
up.
selling us out? So I didn't want to take the heat on that.
So
So
he
I
stood
said
up and
Megan
said
needs
Megan
to go
has to
number
go number 2 to the
That's
entire crowd.
all.
He said Megan has to go
And
number 2.
I thought she did. If you didn't, I thought she did. She told me she did, and I said, okay, then I'm wrong. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I had to use the lavatory.
But
okay?
it's too late now. Thanks to Karl Anthony Towns is the point. Karl
Yeah, it
Anthony
was great.
Towns
Yeah, Cat was great.
stopping by the pod. And I mean, it really was. There was a glee. There was a glee to Cat as he stood there with Danhausen.
Truly.
Right?
Truly. I mean, he was beaming ear to ear. I don't know how long he was in the cloning machine?
He didn't have an answer for that.
No, he didn't.
You know, it really
Dan
did.
Housen was sort of just deflecting that question.
Because Carl Anthony Towns said, I don't know, I was just there. Which I believe that kind of is how a cloning machine works. And then Danhausen, well, he told us it was an inappropriate question, which, okay, felt like a legit question to me, but I guess it was inappropriate. I do wonder, I mean, it's going to be tough for the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan preparing to defend the Women's World Championship against Io Sky at SummerSlam. And now, you know, she's got to deal with the fact that the Judgment Day took another loss, this time at Madison Square Garden against Danhausen.
Yeah, it hasn't been smooth sailing exactly for the Judgment Day. And typically when I say that, you call me a hater. But I think we can agree that the Judgment Day has sort of been on a little bit of a rocky road lately.
Yeah, they got to focus up.
They do. And Liv Morgan doesn't like when her man loses.
That's what I was thinking. That's
At
what I
all.
was thinking. She doesn't like those losses. She doesn't like when Dominic loses.
And also, you know, getting chokeslammed through a table by
Chokeslam dunked.
chokeslam dunked through a table by Carl Anthony Towns. It's not a great look for Dominic.
I love how much they love the Knicks here.
It's great.
I mean, love the Knicks
It's
here. I'll tell
great.
you what. The only person that it felt like that this crowd loved as much as the Knicks was another Nick Aldis.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's true.
The reaction that everybody had when you realized that Nick Aldis, and I don't know where he came from. It looked like he was coming from under the ring. I don't know if he's the
Could've
one who
been.
put the mini Housens under there.
Yeah, maybe they traveled together as a pack.
Maybe
I don't know.
because Nick Aldis doesn't have a job right now. He's removed from the SmackDown
But the phone
GM.
still works. We saw he showed up to work, called CM Punk. So
Yeah, but then
he's on
they
leave and
removed him
threw
again.
Yeah,
They removed him again. He's gone. But apparently he's not gone because he showed up. So we have our tag team match.
which also last night on SmackDown became much more important
Yeah.
because there were massive stakes.
And I was listening to radio this morning. I was listening to Sirius this morning, and the whole conversation was about, okay, now that that's on the table, would you rather have a one-on-one match between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes, or would you rather have that fatal four-way with Sami Zayn and Gunther?
And really, you could go either way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's enough history there. There's so much story there. But ultimately, you know, I'll tell you this. The headline to me in that whole match was, of course, Cody and Punk winning. But Nick Aldis was a big story in that match. I think right under the headline, you got to read under the headline, is the fact that you know, Punk and Cody were happy together. They were happy they won. They worked together. They were polite. The coexisting, the tag team chemistry, that wasn't really there.
No, it wasn't. There was one moment where Punk hit Cody in the face a little bit with the belt.
Well, yeah, before when he was kind of swinging around and the strap
Yeah.
hit Cody. But I mean,
But
what
then-
about earlier? Like what started the mess when Nick Aldis first showed up was what was it? Cody knocking out Punk.
Yes.
You know, and you go, he hit his partner, removed Punk from the match, and Gunther's able to take advantage of it.
But then at the end, Punk did give Cody the pin.
Cody was the legal man.
That's true.
Punk had no choice. Punk was holding the tag rope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's just following the rules, but Cody was the legal man there. I mean, so you had at the end of this thing, first of all, that's not to say Gunther and Sami Zayn coexist on any level.
No.
I think they just both happen to have this same anger. And I am,
Well, and they both wanted another shot at the championship at SummerSlam.
both
So-
of them feel robbed.
Yeah, so making this a fatal four-way match would have been in their best interest.
Right. And I think that, you know, I'm very interested to see how Sammy feels
I
about all
know.
of this. Because
Because-
coming off of this, you go, okay, clearly Cody and Punk, because I think while they're on this team and they want to say that they're friends, and this is, look, this is from the Megan Morant school of thought, but on this one, I'm going to agree with what I think that you think,
Okay, let's hear
which
it.
is when you have Cody and CM Punk at the top of the card,
Mm-hmm.
are they really friends?
No, they're
Right.
not friends.
I'm kinda
They're
with
not
you on
friends
that.
at all. Just say when. Come on, Punk coming back when a championship opportunity falls from the sky. You didn't feel bad for Cody at all.
No, I'm kind of with you on that. This idea that like Punk going like, I didn't know, I thought it'd be longer because you know we're friends. I'm like,
Not really friends.
right. I'm kind of with
And
you.
what did Punk say when he came back? He's not here to make friends. He's never been here to make friends.
What's he here to make?
Make money.
And who makes the most money? The
Champion.
champion. I mean,
and then coming off of this, though, it's pretty clear where Gunter's issues lie. That's with Nick Aldis, and they've lied there for a long
especially
time.
now.
So what happens with Sammy? I'm so interested to see how Sammy responds to this.
And there was that moment at the very end of the match where Sammy tried to break up the pin and couldn't, and he's sitting there going like, "What happened?" And I mean, I think, but I think part of that is what happens when the only ally that Sami Zayn has right now,
It's Johnny Gargano.
other than his day one fans, is he's passed out. He's a corpse.
I know.
They put the photo ops of Johnny Gargano up for sale for the SummerSlam takeover in Minnesota, and it says in the fine print that Johnny Gargano will be planking for them. He'll be laying. He's not even standing up for the photo ops. He's laying down.
Well, and after Candice LeRae was taken out last night by Blake Monroe, he doesn't even have anybody to sit there and talk for him.
That's
It's a
right.
tough time for Johnny.
Yeah. And so, no, I think that it was pretty clear how this audience felt about Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis showing up and pulling Danilo out of the ring. You saw Danilo was running down that aisle. He's like, I'll be your backup official. I'll be your Huckleberry. He was running down that aisle. And he dives into the ring. 1, 2, and out of nowhere, you just see a giant suited British man pull Danilo out from the ring. I mean, and really give him a
He
pull.
really did.
He went spinning. And Gunther goes, you got to be kidding me. And then Nick Aldis, look, he's got nothing to lose. And people forget, dude, like,
People forget who Nick Aldis was before he was a general manager.
and maybe they don't forget, maybe they don't even know. Maybe that's your first exposure to Nick Aldis. I can't blame you for that. Nick Aldis is a world champion wrestler. Nick Aldis has had classics with Cody Rhodes. Nick Aldis has gone around the world defending world championships. Like, Nick Aldis is no joke. That's why he's able to carry himself with that kind of level of confidence that I think he does as general manager. And I think Gunther's pushed him too far. And I think that Nick Aldis is now at the point where it's like he's already been removed as general manager. He's got nothing left to lose. So I think that Gunther, I don't think based on what we saw tonight, that Gunther is going to be able to go anywhere before he deals with this issue that maybe he caused. I don't think he thinks he caused it because he thinks he was, unjustly taken out of these title matches or whatever. But I think a lot of people think that Gunther caused it. I think that Gunther doesn't have much to do until he figures out how to come to a resolution with this Nick Aldis thing.
In order for Gunther to move forward and get back to chasing after that championship, he has to handle this Nick Aldis problem. He has to.
I'm anxious for it too.
Me too.
I mean, and isn't it great? Because like Nick Aldis is always so like proper.
Yeah, prim and proper, put together, has the chiseled jawline, nice fitted suit.
Chest out, chin up.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Respectful.
Yes.
Organized.
Organized.
Yeah.
And now it's like we're seeing some emotion. I love when somebody who conducts themselves by the book so much starts to really just going like, no, we're going to lead with emotion. No, all this anger that I'm feeling, I'm going to let the anger take over. I love seeing that. And the fact that Gunther is one of the most intimidating wrestlers on the roster.
I mean, he retired John Cena,
And
Goldberg,
and
AJ Styles.
I mean, he doesn't stop. He destroys people.
But do you think there's part of Nick Aldis who hasn't been in the ring for a while that has to look at all of those names we mentioned and look at Gunther over the last year and say, they call this guy the career killer.
I don't care if Nick Aldis has been in the ring every single week. That's Gunther. You're not going in there and being like, well, I can take out Gunther. Nobody can take out Gunther.
He's a career killer.
This is what he does, and he takes great joy in it. I mean, and it's not even like the evil maniacal thing. That laugh that I mean, it's horrifying. He takes great joy in what he does. He takes great joy in being the ruiner of fun. Like this is who Gunther is. So no, I mean, is there a part of Nick Aldis? It should be the entire Nick Aldis that realizes that should that guy decide that he wants to get in the ring, it's beyond an uphill battle against Gunther. Beyond.
And that's how you can tell Nick Aldis is leading with his emotions. Because if he was leading with logic,
Yeah.
you would feel the same way that we just described.
I mean, there are plenty of guys that are wrestling every single week at the highest level, and Gunther's going through them. Don't tell me that somebody can come back for one match and go like, no, but I think I got it. I mean, look, on any given night, it could happen. And Nick Aldis is an absolute beast. But it's Gunther too. So yeah, to answer your question, I think there should be more than a part of Nick Aldis. But if you're leading with emotion, maybe you're not so in touch with that part. You know, so that's that. Leaving that match, that's where I'm looking. Right, I'm looking at when is this? Because I think the foundation of the Cody Punk relationship. I think it's paper thin.
I do too.
You do?
Yes.
Like, I don't think
some
there's
cracks
this-
in the foundation.
Oh,
they have
yeah.
a structural problem.
They built this house on a sinkhole.
It's not good.
You ever see those things just cave right into the ground?
At any moment.
Any moment. So I'm anxious to see that. I'm anxious to see where Gunther and Nick Aldis is going, and I'm super anxious to see how Sami Zayn reacts because everybody's got this feeling that like, oh, now Sami Zayn's going to be this fun, crazy guy. And it's like, no, dude, he's a rageful, violent guy.
And a lot of fans are like, they feel like Sammy's gotten screwed a little bit.
A little bit, a lot of it.
Yeah, a 9-day title reign. And now what happens to Sami Zayn? I mean, you and I have been on the radio station and people call in all the time very upset about what has happened to Sami Zayn. And we've seen that frustration a little bit. I think it levels up now after tonight.
Well, that was one of the many, many moments that we had tonight. And I'll tell you who's capturing a lot of these major milestones and viral moments. Well, that's Tops Now, of course. From the biggest events, we saw incredible cards already this year. From WrestleMania, from Backlash, Night of Champions. We just witnessed some incredible moments on Saturday night's main event. We don't know which are going to be immortalized by Tops Now. I know that I just received a bunch of the Tops Now cards for real that I ordered after the Knicks won the NBA Finals. And I was getting, you know, those Knicks moments. And I got my Karl Anthony Towns card. And I got my Jalen Brunson card. Well, guess what? Maybe we'll get more. We had great moments from them. The only way to make sure that you don't miss any of the big moment WWE Tops Now cards coming out of this weekend is to sign up for notifications on Tops.com and follow @Tops on social. Of course, don't forget to tune in to WWE Now Raw recap after Raw this Monday, and we'll have more info on cards and graphics and everything that you're going to be able to get. We saw a massive title change on Saturday night's main event. Fatal Influence won the Women's Tag Team Championship, and guess where their first stop was? The Now. We talked to him here in Madison Square Garden, and this is how it went down. Joining us now on the Saturday night's main event recap, the new Tag Team Champions of the world, Fatal Influence. Is that the first time that you've heard it? Tag Team Champions of the World? Tag Team Champions of the World as crowned inside the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden. Is it surprising to you guys how quick this has all happened?
Surprising. Are you for real? Look at us.
Right.
We are winners. We attract gold. And with Lainey Reed, you can expect much more.
Wow. I mean, walking in here, this is a huge moment, but I also feel like, and JC, this goes back to you in NXT, that there is a story of Fatal Influence that is very underestimated and that people don't see coming. There was shock in Madison Square Garden tonight when you guys won the championship. That is not something unfamiliar to any of you. What do you think it is about Fatal Influence that leaves people going, I don't think tonight's going to be their night when tonight ends up being their night?
We win when it matters most. And let's not forget, it was in the MSG Theater that I became a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. So this is our lucky playing ground here. We are always successful in New York City.
I mean, it's a good place to be successful.
It isn't, you know, I'm looking at these titles and I see the side plates, Brie, Bella on the side, and Paige. Okay,
Whoa.
well, you know, for people who've grown up watching the industry, and watching Paige and Brie Bella. Now, I don't know if you were a fan of them, but is there any part of you that it's a little surreal that is who you defeated to become a tag team champion?
I mean, a lot of people credit those two women as being two of the pillars that made this modern evolution, for lack of a better term, of what this division is.
That's true. And I won't discredit anything that they've done.
They're legends.
But the past is the past. And the future is Fatal Influence, okay? And I've seen something that I really like. I've seen us circulating, what's it called? Legend Killers. I've seen us compared to that, and well, I mean, they might be onto something.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but notice. I think everybody noticed from the minute that you guys showed up on SmackDown that of all the people who came up to the main roster, you guys did make that impact immediately. There was a loud sound coming
The
from
camera
the
was
audience.
shaking. Let me remind you. The camera was shaking. No one has made an impact on the main roster like we have in years.
I mean, it was a massive
argue.
impact, especially that quickly. Do you feel a pressure to capitalize on that when you first get here and you feel that reaction? Do you go, okay, this is something we need to capitalize on, or is this business as usual?
Always. You're just as good as your last time that you were out. So every time we have to up it and get better and better, and we do that. Yeah. You will never see us fumble, ever.
Ever?
Yeah,
Never.
Because diamonds are made under pressure, and we consider ourselves 3 gems. So I don't mean to like spit bars or anything.
That was pretty
I don't mean to
good.
spit
That's
bars or
pretty
anything,
good,
but
yeah.
pressure is a privilege. We don't look at that as stress or anything. We like the pressure.
We thrive on pressure.
Yeah.
And it's hard to argue with championship titles around your waist. I mean, tonight of all nights. What did you think of the officiating in the match? It felt like,
I feel like she was out to get me. Like I just
you
had
thought the referee was out to get you?
Referees are always out to get us first and foremost.
I simply had a question. I just wanted to ask her a question.
I didn't. We were a little far away. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably were
I had a little
confused.
question for her. I thought it was the right time.
To ask the referee to
Mid-match.
just go, hey,
It just popped in my head, and I was like, I can't wait on this. I need to ask it now.
do you remember what the question was?
Ooh.
You
You know, it was
it really doesn't matter.
You've forgotten the question.
I forgot the
It was
question.
personal.
Forgotten this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came and went.
Wow.
That fast.
Yeah.
Well, now that Lainey and Fallon have tag team championships around their waist, is the next step for Fatal Influence for JC Jane to also earn gold in WWE.
Duh.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
When the time is right,
Draped in gold.
when the time is right, I will make this way shiny again.
at one point when you were in NXT, there were a lot of people who claimed that you were the most beatable champion, but then you proved them wrong.
I never said that in my entire life.
Wow.
But then-
Megan.
I absolutely never said that.
Megan.
A lot of
Just so
people,
you know.
a lot of people were saying, but you did, to your credit, you did prove them wrong.
These are pointed questions.
What has it been about Fatal Influence that you have been able to kind of stick it to all of those haters and people saying that you're beatable and they underestimate you?
You know what? All I needed was the opportunity, the chance. They waited. It took me 4 years to get a chance at the NXT Women's Championship. And the first time I got that chance, I walked out as the champion. And then I won the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And I was the first woman to ever hold 2 world championships from 2 different companies at the same time. And then I became a 2-time NXT Women's Champion. I ran that division for a year. So anyone who's still underestimating me, well, you're just dumb.
I mean, it's getting very. I mean, I thought that there might be more joy radiating from you guys after.
Static. Look at us.
Right. Yeah.
I need a tissue.
We're beaming.
Does anyone have a tissue? I'm bleeding.
Wait, she's literally bleeding. Does someone have a tissue?
Somebody get me a tissue.
Are you bleeding?
I am. Can
Oh
you
my-
not see the blood?
Oh, there's blood over there. It was just
there-
the
I
wrong
did see the
side of
blood.
you.
Help!
I mean, it's a championship match. Charlie's going to get. He's got you. He's got you.
Feed my own blood.
But that's okay because we took their titles.
That's a great exchange.
I mean, do you think that there you go. Look at that, a whole
What a
box.
guy.
Appreciate
Give him a raise.
A whole box. Do you think that, like, now that you have these titles, have you thought about, like, okay, we're going to defend them actively? I mean, you do have to admit that Brie and Paige won the championship at WrestleMania, and since then have defended a lot.
Wait, what was the question?
Have you thought about the how often you'll be defending the titles? Is this something you go like, well, now that we're champions, we're gonna be on TV, we're gonna defend it here, we're gonna go to SummerSlam, we're gonna defend it there? Is it, yeah.
All right, let's relax.
Settle down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Settle down for a second.
No.
We will do so when we deem it's right. So if other tag teams have earned their shot, then we might, maybe, sort of, kind of, we'll give them an opportunity. But when we decide. You picking up what I'm putting down?
I am.
Okay, thank you.
I think so. Do you feel like there's any tag teams right now that are deserving? Not yet.
Not a single one.
I mean, Lash and Nia are pretty
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
impressive, you know?
They had their chance. So
And now it's done.
Versus the irrelevant.
That's a good
Irrelevant
one. That was a good
forces?
one. I like that one.
wow, wow, just declaring war.
There's just so much confidence coming out of you guys. And you know, for having such a short time on the main roster, I mean, you've accomplished a lot already, but where does that confidence come from?
I mean, you saw what we did in NXT, right?
Oh, yeah. I watched the product.
JC and I held so much gold between the two of us. And what are we going to do now that we're on main roster? Hold all the gold.
We wrestle circles around everyone in this division. They can't lace our boots if they tried. And that's a fact. And I stand on that.
Do you think people are jealous of you guys and how much you're able to do? It just seems like Megan has been unusually hostile in this interview. Have you noticed
Just
that?
asking the questions.
Let me. Yeah.
I see your Instagram sometimes. You're a little runner, right? You like to run.
Leggy Meggy. They call her Leggy Meggy. Did
Leggy
you know that?
Meggy.
Leggy Meggy.
Okay, well, they call
Leggy Meggy.
No, let me tell you something. They called me Thunder Thailand in high school, so.
Whoa.
But listen, I have a extensive track background. I went to college and ran track, so maybe that's. I mean, we could connect, but maybe you just have some kind of animosity. I don't know. It might
I was
be-
just asking the
most
questions.
People, most people are jealous of us.
Are you a distance runner? A fast runner?
She likes to run forever and ever.
The long,
kinda boring.
The long. This isn't about me. We're talking about
That's
your
true. That is
your
true.
championships.
Anyways,
and,
get it together,
what,
Megan.
and you know what you plan
But you
to
do think Megan's jealous of you guys?
I think it's giving a little.
You're stirring the pot.
Maybe she was a Bella fan. I don't know.
Big Bella fan.
Big Bella fans.
You know, they did have quite the impact on
I said
the entire
okay.
women's division and the industry.
Oh, I get that.
I'm getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
You want next question? You got it.
I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with this on your night
Thank you.
of all nights.
Thank
I'm
you.
really sorry
Finally,
about
there's
that
somebody
because
gets
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm just, I'm not
such a
trying to be.
honor.
I'm just being, I'm trying to be just a person. But how do you guys plan on? Okay. How do you? Okay, that's cool.
He just
Yeah.
started living.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just a guy.
Yeah.
This is his first time living too.
I was gonna ask, how do you guys plan on celebrating tonight in New York City?
Oh. You know what?
Pizza.
Maybe some penne alla vodka.
Pizza, pasta.
Maybe a little garlic bread or
Prosecco.
garlic knot.
There's a really good place in Times Square. It's called the Olive Garden.
Oh,
And you can
good
get-
God Almighty!
Right.
I'm sick. Yeah, you just. Oh.
The Olive Garden.
You did. Yeah.
The
You do that
Olive
often now.
Garden.
You
You guys
did.
ever have the tour of Italy?
That goes against my religion.
Oh. I didn't mean to offend you.
The Olive Garden. I just lost my appetite.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
You're the tag team champions.
Say it again.
Go. Okay. All right. Tag team champions of the world.
I love it.
Get used to it. It's
Exactly.
Fatal Influence's
Get
time.
used to it.
I think whether we like it or not.
Facts.
Thank you.
You're gonna learn to like it.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna learn to like it, or just get under our influence. Either way, we're running the show.
Thank you very much, ladies, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks to Fatal Influence, the new tag team champions of the world, and WWE fans. Where else can you experience the thrill and excitement of ripping Topps card packs with the instant gratification of having your own collection conveniently on your phone? Why? WWE Slam by Topps. It offers fans around the world the chance to collect and trade their favorite WWE superstars, rip new digital packs every day, complete collector-based missions and seasons, and combine cards to craft them into rarer digital collectibles. The app even offers in-app challenges where you can win Topps WWE hobby boxes, full cases, graded cards, and more just by ripping digital packs. Here's your chance to build the ultimate Topps WWE digital collection featuring iconic Topps designs, original artwork, motion cards, and more.
Hey, we didn't get to talk about it, but can you finally admit that I was right?
About
Jessica Carr. Corrupt Carr strikes again, this time in Madison Square Garden. Actually, it wasn't the first time she struck in Madison Square Garden because Maxine won the championship of the bag, and Corrupt Carr was involved in that. So, can you just admit she's corrupt?
I will say, when I saw JC Jane jump up on that apron and just push the roll up over, I was like, Carr, where are you? What, like, what?
Right?
You didn't see that?
She's
I saw
been
it.
doing this for a long time, Sam.
Where are you?
That's what I've been trying to tell you.
I was in that moment. I swear, when it happened, I said, "Oh boy, I hope Megan's not watching." 'Cause
Oh, I
she's-
was watching.
Yeah,
I have
bet.
it right here, written down in my notebook. Corrupt Carr strikes again.
Oh, and you were gonna tackle me with
Oh,
it. Huh?
yeah, of course.
I mean, it was a little, if I'm running the officials at WWE, I don't know if that's Charles Robinson. I don't know who does that, but I'm having a meeting of people going, look, I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to mention any names, but please, if you see somebody pushing a roll up that's not involved in the match, do not just continue to count because it's not fair.
Did the greatest female wrestler of all time take to Twitter at all? Did she put anything out there? Anybody? Did she put anything out
I
there
don't
about
know.
Corrupt
What did
Carr?
Alundra Blaze say?
Oh. I'm not talking about Alundra Blaze.
You're right. You're right. Somebody check at Bull Nakano. The greatest female wrestler of all time.
I just think that, I know that she was watching, and that probably had to strike a nerve.
Is it, I'll ask you this, and you're probably right. Is it difficult for you to keep figuring out ways to bring up Becky Lynch when she hasn't even been on the
It's
show?
not difficult because she's always relevant.
Oh, omnipresent?
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that she's been pointing out for quite some time that now we're realizing are true.
Oh, yeah.
Moody Maxine, true. Corrupt Carr, true. When Becky points it out, it's annoying and she's nagging to
True,
some
that's
people.
actually a great point.
To some people.
Oh.
Not to me.
Oh,
I think it's factual.
oh.
I think it's a good point. But to a lot of people like you, they say, oh, it's annoying. Here she goes again.
I do.
But then when it's proven in another situation,
Right.
like when it cost Brie Bella and Paige the tag team titles, and we say, oh, maybe Jessica Carr is corrupt. Maybe we should take a
Well,
deeper
corrupt
look
is a
into
little
this.
far. I would say maybe she might need a new prescription on the contact lens or something like that. But I think corrupt is a little bit far. I was upset. I live a lot of my life in Brie mode. So
I know you do.
So
For
I
a long
was-
time, you lived like a whole year in Brie
I
mode.
did do a whole year in Brie mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
was
I
back
did.
with
That's
the
true.
hair day, everything.
Yeah, this is before it was even really receding or anything. Like
Yeah.
if you go back to WrestleMania 31, the heist of the century, right about the third row, you can see a young Sam Roberts with a Brie mode T-shirt on, and that's just a fact.
And listen, Madison Square Garden was hot all night, but they popped big for those yes kicks.
Well, I thought this to me, and I thought it was at least at the beginning of the match, the best outing that we had seen for Brie Bella and Paige. I felt like they were finally like figured out the sort of chemistry of who they are as a team. You know, obviously they kind of came together after Nikki Bella's injury.
Yeah, at WrestleMania.
And I think it was one of those things where it was like, okay, like how do we make the sum of these parts greater than the two parts?
We
right?
love Brie. We love Paige. What do they look like together?
Right, and I thought tonight you saw them and they came out and they were wearing, matching gear and they just had this sort of chemistry that was finally like really dialed in. But Fatal Influence is Fatal Influence and the numbers games are the numbers games and man, it was what it was. I do want to say real quick to anybody, we were talking about the fact that Fanatics Fest has been going on
Yes.
all weekend long, and if anybody didn't see, we interviewed both Trick Williams and LA Knight at Fanatics Fest. So make sure that you check out those 2 interviews because both guests were absolutely amazing live there on the floor, long form interviews. And they were, I really, really enjoyed them.
Yeah, they're
so
terrific. Yeah.
I just want to make sure that everybody does that. One person that I don't know if we need to necessarily interview immediately, all due respect, is Lyra Valkyria.
Oh, please, let's stay away from Lyra for a little while.
I mean, you know what? It's one of those things. And this happened to you too. Remember there was a time where you were like, oh, I'm like the nicest person ever. I give strangers kidneys. I'm Megan Morant. Remember that, Megan? And
Yes.
then you kind of snapped out of it and you were like, oh, I'm going to be negative and be a hater all the time. That was like, and that's, I'm saying, but like Lyra is what I'm talking about. How that's the same thing, that Lyra was carrying on that nice girl thing for so long that when she's finally snapped, everybody's in trouble.
Well, there's snapping, which is what we saw happen to Lyra in a lot of those backstage segments, what happened to Lyra when she turned on Bailey. But then there's what happened tonight, and that took it to a whole nother level. Like, I mean, Bailey, she had like drool coming out of her mouth. The
know what
referee
it
had
was.
to call off the match, right? Like,
Well, I mean, it was yes. Bailey was out. Lyra had her in that submission, that choke submission, which is, I mean, again,
she was
kind of
foaming at the mouth.
foaming.
Foaming.
Kind of the antithesis of what Lyra was, but Lyra's also bleeding from the nose like crazy.
Sure, but
I mean,
then,
it was
it's over. It's done.
hyper-physical
And
match.
what does Lyra do? She goes back for that same hold
Yeah, goes after Bailey again.
and then goes over to the stairs. So there's snapping, which is what we saw Lyra do. And then there's taking it to the level she took it tonight. And that's a level I say, we have to give Lyra some space. Like, don't go anywhere near her because she's very dangerous.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that Lyra is working through all of it right now.
Who knows what she's capable of after what we just saw?
I know, and but yeah, the attack on Bailey for sure. I think it was a message to everybody, but I also think it was clear that Lyra and Bailey is not over. Because you would, to your point, I think you're right. You would think that you beat somebody with that submission hold.
It's enough.
It's over.
They're
You
foaming at the mouth.
You
Good
proved your
enough.
point, right? And for some reason, she has to keep the attack going. She's like, it's not enough. I have to make it hurt. Lyra, I think, blames Bailey for everything. I mean, there's something broken in Lyra that she blames Bailey for, and now she's making Bailey pay even more so than, I think, to your point about staying away. Most superstars, it's like, okay, I'm going to make them pay. I'm going to beat them in a match, and then I'll be the winner. And I'll move on to somebody else. I'll beat them in a match. I'll be the winner until I'm the champion. I don't even think Lyra is thinking about winning matches anymore.
No, I think she still wants to punish Bailey.
Punishment. That's exactly
She
the word I
wants
was
to
thinking
punish
of.
Bailey.
And it's really interesting because we've just never seen, we have never seen that in Lyra Valkyria before.
And it's crazy because when Bailey was going through whatever it was that she was going through, when she was trying to find herself, Lyra was that voice in her ear that reminded Bailey that she's the role model, that reminded Bailey she's one of the 4 horsewomen, that reminded her that she's a Grand Slam champion. And to see, and just, a lot can happen in a year, but to see her go back to that sleeper hold again and again tonight and take Bailey over to the stairs and continue to punish her, it was wild.
So we got a whole new Lyra Valkyria. We got new women's tag team champions. We got Danhausen putting himself on this level. And you heard in our interview with Kat getting credited by the Knicks for the Knicks victory, as well as, oh, by the way, he beat JD McDonough. We got Nick Aldis getting revenge. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes protecting their main event at SummerSlam. And Roman Reigns not allowing Seth Rollins to stop his moment where greatness acknowledges greatness. Is there any one superstar that you think had the best Saturday Night's main event at Madison Square Garden? Or one superstar or team?
It's got to be Danhausen and Kat.
You think it's
It has to be
Danhausen and Kat?
Yeah, it has to be. 100% has to be.
I mean, but that's what makes this Knicks team so amazing from top to bottom. It's like you would think they would show up with this ego. But when Kat shows up He's like, no. This is your house. I'm Cathausen. When Brunson shows up, he goes, no. This is your house. I'm OTC 11.
Yeah.
Like it's just it just adds charm to the whole thing. I thought it was an amazing night. It has been an amazing weekend. At the time of this recording, we have one more day of Fanatics Fest to go. I can't wait to see what happens next. Like I said earlier, if you missed the LA Knight interview, it's an hour long. Go watch the LA Knight interview. If you missed the Trick Williams interview, go watch the Trick Williams interview. And if you've seen it all, then just sit tight because Megan Morant and I will be back here on WWE Now right after Monday Night Raw. And I will tell you, if Saturday night's main event was any indication of how furiously we are going into SummerSlam, I cannot wait to see what happens on Monday Night Raw. We will see you then. Don't forget to subscribe across all audio platforms, comment and like on YouTube, and we'll talk again right after Monday Night Raw.